Optical key switch keyboards are becoming the hot new thing. Corsair's K100 and the STRIX Scope RX from Asus, are great examples. Both of them use the same actuation method, an infrared beam that the moving part of the switch interrupts to, well, actuate the signal, and if you've watched my optical key switch explained video, then you'll know that that is the effectively most basic way of making a key switch an optical one. Either way, we're going to take a look at this one, see if it's actually any good and worth your money, or if there are some better options you should check out instead. But first, if you haven't already, consider subscribing for more videos like this one every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Let's start with those key switches. As well, like I said, they do use the most basic way of making a key switch optical. They are also a lot more unique than the ones that Corsair use in that K100. These, instead of using a standard cherry stem, they use basically just 4 poles. In theory, this is to help eliminate key wobble, although the majority of key wobble on a standard switch comes from the clearances between the housing and the moving part of the switch, which this still does kind of have. It is better than most standard key switches, but it's certainly not eliminated. But more importantly, to help that stabilization, they use scissor stabilizers inside every key switch. The housings are see-through, so you can actually see the red scissor parts moving up and down as you actuate the key switch, which honestly looks pretty cool. Either way, they also use a dual rate spring in here, which means that for the top half of the actuation, it's a featherweight 40-gram switch, but when you're past the actuation point and going down the bottom half, it's a fairly heavy 55-gram spring. Now that's something that on the Corsair K60 with the Cherry Viola budget switches, I really didn't like, but with this one, maybe because of those scissor stabilizers and because the difference between the two forces are fairly small, I actually kind of liked it. The actuation point is also super high, just 1.5 millimeters, up from the usual 2 in a standard cherry red switch. Now, the thing is that normally I would really dislike this, but I didn't mispress any keys, I didn't accidentally actuate them, and I didn't double press any keys either. And when gaming, well, it actually felt a little bit better. It felt a little bit more responsive and snappier, which was a welcome addition. Now, some of that will come from the optical actuation method, which, as I talked about in my optical key switch explained video, you can check out the cards up above. Essentially, that means that even at the standard 1000 Hz polar rate that this runs at, it can still actuate the key press or send that signal to your PC in 1 or 2 milliseconds instead of more like 10. Again, it's not a massive difference and it's certainly not game-changing, but it is kind of nice to see. Typing on it ended up feeling pretty good. Now, I have to make it clear, I'm not generally a fan of linear red style switches, so my commentary here is pretty biased, so keep that in mind, but of all of the red style switches that I've tried, I think I got on with this the best. Either way, it is still fairly loud. Have a listen. The Scope RX doesn't have all that many extra bells and whistles. It's a stylish board with a nice font and, of course, plenty of RGB lighting that can sync with all of your standard Aura devices and you can customize to your heart's content. But beyond that and the optical switches, all that you have extra is a USB 2 pass-through. The thing is that at the price point that I've been told, it actually makes it a pretty compelling option, and it helps that the build quality is phenomenal. I said in my K100 review that I felt Corsair were adding features that were more show than go, more, I guess, gimmicky than truly useful, potentially to help justify the stonking £230 price tag. But I think Asus has gone the other way with this. The Scope RX isn't a flashy keyboard beyond the RGB lighting, obviously, and for the price that I believe them to be asking for this, that's a really good thing. Now, to make it clear, this will not and really can't ever make its way onto my desk as my full-time keyboard, as, like I said, I prefer Cherry MX Browns way too much, and if I wanted an optical keyboard, then I would use a Wu-Tang 2, which is a much more innovative and unique featured keyboard instead. But if you're someone who likes Cherry MX Red style switches, linear with no tactile bump or click, then I think you'll really like this. And honestly, especially if the pricing is, like I said, as I've been told, this gets a solid recommendation from me. If it's too expensive when it actually comes out, then sure, you can knock it as much as you like, but for the time being, this seems like a really decent option with a really nice gaming experience. Sure, it's a little on the loud side, but it's not overly flashy and shouldn't break the bank. Now with that said, those are my thoughts, but I would love to hear yours in the comments down below. What do you think of the Scope RX? Is this a keyboard you'd be interested in checking out yourself? Would you rather, the K100 instead, or would you rather the Wu-Tang 2 or anything in between? Feel free to let me know in the comments down below, and feel free to let me know what you think of optical switches too. Also, if you want to check out this keyboard, then I'm going to leave a link to it in the description down below. It has just come out, so if you're watching this video, well, when it comes out, then it might not be available just yet, but the link down below will take you to your local Amazon store. It's an affiliate link for them, where you can see pricing when and where you watch this, hopefully. Otherwise, there is a whole load of other links in the description you can check out too, from Overclock's UK affiliate links you can buy from there, Patreon if you want to get cool rewards like access to our Money Men Discord and sponsor free videos, or there's merch, hoodies or t-shirts like this one, a load of other cool designs, and just a load of other stuff you can check out too. There'll be some other videos that you can check out here. I'll leave the K100 since I've mentioned that so many damn times. And of course, you can subscribe for more videos like this one, and you can even check out our weekly live streams on Thursday nights at 8 PM UK time if you've got any questions. Otherwise, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you all in the next video.